want some bacon? Oh man, I don't eat pork. I just don't dig on swine, that's all.
Hopefully that worked. If it didn't work and I looked like a right fool, well, that's fine too, because I don't mind having a laugh at the channel. But if it did work, that was me taking a line, a little bit of dialogue out of Pulp Fiction, one of the greatest films of all time, and the bacon line. You want some bacon? No, man, I don't eat pork. I just don't dig on swine. It's one of the greatest lines out there, and I just couldn't resist putting it in this video. So hopefully that was a little laugh and a good way to start this video about the upcoming release of the Nike Air Max 90 Bacons. A great shoe with a great story that stretches back to 2004. Has a great story from 2004, and then here we are in 2021 with it coming right back at us, and it's an absolutely beautiful shoe. Can we say iconic for one of the greatest Air Max 90 colorways of all time? I think we surely can. So I'm going to be taking you through that shoe and all the details on it, and giving you some of the background to the backstory to this shoe as well, talking about the upcoming release on March the 26th. So let's get into this and have a look at today's shoe, which is the Nike Air Max 90 Bacon. This is a Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel days. Mainichi Absuru no de, Mainichi Mite Kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today what's in the spotlight is the drop on March 26th of the Nike Air Max 90 Bacon. And I kind of, I do sort of go on about this maybe a little too much, but I feel like it's kind of important that here we are in 2021, 31 years after the original drop of the Air Max 90s, and you wonder why a shoe like this didn't drop last year for the 30th anniversary year. I was all over that with the Air Jordan 4s when they had their 30th anniversary year, and only two shoes in that year really held the spotlight for me. One was the Bread 4s, which I ended up getting two pairs of by mistake, and the other one was the Cool Greys, which I didn't get my hands on. But all the other Jordan 4s across that 30th anniversary year, I was just less than satisfied with. And then when it came to the Air Max 90s, they were a little bit better at celebrating their 30th anniversary year, but still, shoes like this that could have easily sat in last year's pantheon of Air Max 90s have been put back for this year for some strange reason. I do not know why, but I'm glad, because it's a great looking shoe and it will get a lot more attention now because it stands alone out there with these Air Max 90s. Although having said that, we go back just a week or so on the channel and there were two Air Max 90s. The first one was that Fami Chiki, the Swish Mart's beautiful shoe, interesting shoe with a removable upper to reveal another upper below. And then similar to that in that Japan pack theme was the Rice Balls, which are a great looking shoe as well, very different from the Fami Chiki guys. And then here we are with these Bacons, so there's a whole food vibe coming down the line with the Air Max 90s, and these guys sit real nice in there, not overshadowed at all. Now what I'm going to do for you guys is go through the shoe bit by bit and show you all the different details on it and the important places to look so you know what you've got going on. And the first thing I want to do is I want to absolutely gush, warning ahead, this is fair warning before you guys I didn't know it was coming. You can't claim you didn't know this was coming. Fair warning, I'm about to gush about the materials on these guys because they are premium, they are luxe, they are absolutely top quality materials, and the best place to look at that is down on the toe box. So let's swing by the toe box and get an idea of what's going on down there. Usually you'd see some kind of man-made materials, some kind of meshes in the toe box, for example, down there, but you can see in the case of these guys, the quality is off the charts, and these guys are going to be absolutely silky smooth to the touch. A beautiful place to begin the shoe, and a beautiful place to start off with that mix of colors, because we've basically got four different colors going on here. Now there are a few more colors in there. It's not just like there's only four colors, but there's some variance in the colors, and there's some different colors at play. But basically, taking it as simply as you can, there are four basic colors on the shoe: brown, pink, red, and then white or cream or somewhere in a mix in there. And the toe box is a great place to look at that because you can see all four of those colours kind of all mixed up together round about the quarter line of the shoe. And what we're going to do right now is go through those colours, especially two of them, the brown and the pink. So we'll start with the brown guys because the brown guys appear in four different places on these shoes, and it's all about the rubberized kind of feel to the shoe. So what we're talking about is up high on the laces, very traditional style of lace branding, lace structure going on up there. We're high up on the laces and then down lower on the laces. You have those two rubberized panels on there in that brown, and then it's not too hard to travel down from that to the midfoot section where you've got a branding panel. A little window that looks into the side. It's kind of iconic to the Air Max 90s Tinker Hatfield designed shoe, and that looks through to the brown panel underneath the branding there, and then directly below that you've got that air unit that I like to say looks like an arrowhead, but that's just me. I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but again, the housing around that air unit there is very much in that brown rubberized feel to the shoe. And then the last place to look is to go around to the back of the shoe and onto the heel to see that standard panel on the back there, brown for the branding. But that brings us a nice place to sort of make a little segue into the next color we want to look at that also appears in 4 places. And now what we're talking about is the pink on the shoe. So the brown branding panel on the back of these guys is housing some pink branding, and it's that pink effect that we want to take forward and have a look at. So we come forward to the most important and distinctive feature of any Nike shoe is the swoosh. Maybe not, but these guys, pink, looking good sitting there on the side of these guys. So you've got that brown panel on the back that houses the pink branding, and then a pink swoosh on the side. And down below that we come back to that air unit, which is housing the brown housing around the outside, and you look on into the inside and you get a feel for that pink going on the inside. And then the final place is to go up to the top of the tongues and see the branding that's housed again in a brown branding panel up there, but in pink branding. So you've got those 4 pink hits, and you've also got the 4 brown hits, and then playing off of that, kind of acting like a balance between the two. You've got the red that runs all the way through from the toe box and up to quarter line, and finishes off on the lacing system there to give us that extra little bit of color on these guys. And that red is very important to keep the balance in the shoe, and we'll get to that in a minute because we need to look at the alternative laces on these guys to see what I'm talking about. But we'll get to that in a minute. But first I want to drop back to that toe box and see the light tones that make up the panel on the toe box, and then down to the mud guard and see slightly darker than the light tones that make up the toe box, but still in that basic kind of off-white or grimy white or creamy white feel to it to complete the 4 colors on this shoe. So it's a great looking shoe. There are a couple of elements to that are a little bit sort of like, could they have done more? If we look down into the insoles and have a look in there, there's not much going on the inside of these guys, just your standard branding and insole there. Now it's all about Dave's Quality Meets, I think is right. I'm saying it's a New York City sneaker / skateboarder boutique, they call it. And 17 years ago, Dave, the owner, was charged with coming up with a collaboration with the Nike line. And apparently, what happened is it took him until 2 days before the collaboration was due that he finally hit on this colorway, and he wasn't so sure about a meat-themed shoe. But then he thought, you know what, everybody loves bacon except for Jules in Pulp Fiction. Everybody loves bacon, and I'm going to go ahead with this shoe. And you know what? It's an iconic and a classic looking shoe. So thank you very much, Dave's Quality Meats. Nothing to do with meat. It's not a butcher's for bringing out this shoe and doing that collaboration for us there. Now the only things, though, like I was saying, though, could there have been more on the inside of the shoe to do with bacon or to do with Dave's Quality Meats or something, or the branding on the back panel or up on the tongues and places like that? Could they have done a little bit more to sort of push the unique elements of this shoe? One place where they have done that maybe is in the extra laces, which I'll be showing you behind me here. And you can see that what they've done is they've strung the laces together in such a way that it appears to be like a rasher of bacon all lined up there with the sort of fats and the meat kind of streaking together through the shoe. But actually that's just people putting laces in a particular sort of alignment to give the effect of bacon. It's not part of the design of the shoe itself, although I'm sure they did choose these alternate laces with that in mind in terms of the colour. But just somewhere a little bit more of a hit, something to call out the bacon a little bit extra, that it adds a little bit of spice into the shoe. They could have done a bit more with the branding somewhere to give it a little bit, just a little bit more than your standard sort of premium standard colorway from the Nike Air Max line. And that's my look at the shoe today. So like I said, I've done a couple of Air Max 90s recently. They seem to be going hard with their collaborations right now, that Fammy Chicky and the Rice Ball, and then now we've got this bacon making a return after 17 years. So Air Max 90s are definitely kind of hot right now, which surprised me coming out of their 30th anniversary year. You would have thought all this would have been good for last year, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter when they drop as long as they're cool, and these are very, very cool. A very big yes for me. And then that's enough for me today to sign off and finish up this video. So we'll have another Air Max 95 Japan coming sometime soon in the Air Max line. But other than that, we just get that daily video, daily content. I think tomorrow I'm going to try and do the Sean Wotherspoon Adidas shoes that are coming out real soon. Of course, Sean Wotherspoon did the Air Max 1, Air Max 97 mashup. That was a big shoe that a lot of people were very interested in. And then he's coming back with an Adidas tomorrow. So I'll check that video out tomorrow. Hopefully you guys can drop by for that. But for now, it's time to sign off this video. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll just remind you what I do every single day, that I do this every single day, and that means that you are guaranteed to see me.